we all have different gifts, and it's not until we actually start utilizing them that other people benefit from it. So,
Absolutely.
oh my God.
And
Yeah.
gifts evolve too, Michaela.
Yes.
Like you can have, the gift of, I want to say, like holding space for somebody. And because that's a skill and a gift in itself, right? The skill of and the gift of being a great listener. But as you do that over and over and over, you're going to start getting curious and say, what else can I do? If you would have asked me, I want to say 10 years ago, would you like to have a podcast? I would say, no, thank you.
Same.
I will be terrified of that question because why? First of all, I don't like my own voice, right? And so I
Same
start
here, Lucy.
thinking, who's gonna listen to me talking, right? And now after launching the podcast, I have received messages from people saying, your voice is so encouraging, your voice is so calming, and sometimes you might not see your own gifts. This is
Mhm.
my point. But someone like, Micaela, and she has the skill, I'm very sure of this, of even seeing your gifts before you even see them.
Yes, that is one of my gifts.
So find that coach for you.
Thank you for that. Okay, so as we wrap up, I really let's just say there's a mujer out there who she knows what she's good at. She's already helped people, right? She's kind of mentoring without knowing, because that was me. I would all the time, because I had another podcast before, and women would send me a DM and be like, oh, they would just tell me everything that they were going through. Can I talk to you sometime? And I would always be like, yeah, do you want to Zoom? Let me send you a link. So here I was meeting with women, and I'm thinking, I'm just talking to them. Like, I'm literally just thinking that, but little did I know that God was preparing me to do what I'm doing now, because I have a whole different brand now. But for the mujer who maybe is in that space where she's like, okay, I know that I can help people, and I'm kind of mentoring people, how do I charge? Like that, scary word. So what would you say to her?
You asked me one of my favorite questions.
Oh, cool.
So I'm gonna put on my business hat,
Yes,
because
please.
like I mentioned before, I come from a corporate background and I was managing a multi-million dollar company. So this is me speaking right now. So if you're struggling with charging or knowing how much to charge, what you have to do is a competitive analysis or market research. So look around where you are, of course, maybe Instagram, right? Research the coaches that are out there, research how much they're charging, right? And you're gonna find that as a new aspiring coach, the least minimum that someone could charge is $1,500, and that's for 8 coaching sessions or so. Now that number, I'm pretty sure the mujeres that are listening right now are probably like, what,
And
fifteen
I'm
hundred
like,
dollars
wow, that's a little bit.
But that is the entry point, right? That is the industry average for an aspiring coach. Now, as you evolve, as you get more experience, your pricing is changing, right? So I always tell people, do the market research, know your value. Now, imposter syndrome is gonna kick in, and you're gonna start thinking, well, I'm a new coach, I haven't coached anybody, blah 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 blah, right? Like all of these.
Mhm.
But you have the same or more value than any other coach out there. You don't need a certification, and you need to start charging for your work, because when we're thinking about pricing, people are not just paying you for the 45, 60-minute call that they're going to be doing with you through Zoom, right? They are paying you for all of those years that you literally burn your eyelashes learning something, right?
Yeah.
Your skill set, your gifts. So dive into that. Like, what are the things that I've learned? And the other thing that I do is I have 2 toddler girls. So I think about, what am I gonna give up to help someone, right? Like, am I giving up an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours or 8 hours? And what am I comfortable charging so I can be away from my kids, right? Because when you're coaching people, you have to give up something, whether it's the time with your partner, with your friends, with your kids, with your familia, right? And so pricing evolves. So don't be afraid to start. And now for those that I know are still panicking about the 1500 is if it really like it just scares you, because I know it's gonna happen, is create the offer and then do a, I want to say not a pro bono, but go talk to, let's say, Micaela and say, hey, Micaela, I'm developing this new framework and this is what it looks like. This is my pricing. However, I haven't had any clients and I would like for you to work with me and give you half off, right? You're still selling Micaela the 1500, but you're giving her a discount since you don't have any clients. Well, after you coach Micaela and she gets amazing results from your coaching, that's when you go to the next client and say, this is my framework and here's my client and here are the results that Micaela got from being coached by me.
Yes.